What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a bonus video for you guys. This will be the second video of today. I think it's actually going up first though. And today I just want to give you some quick Modern Warfare and Warzone tips and tricks for multiplayer and Warzone here in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We're just going to get straight into it and give you guys some very basic tips and tricks that you can improve with your settings that will hopefully improve your performance in the game. So I'm just going to press pause real quick and we're going to go to these various different settings. Apologies for my phone. I'm going to turn that off real quick. And the number one tip that I can give you for Call of Duty, especially Warzone, is to play on Tactical. Tactical is essentially going to improve your ability to drop shot. Drop shotting, if you guys haven't noticed yet, if you're playing the game, is essentially the meta. You need to be able to drop shot in tactical situations to duck out of the line of fire, to get behind cover more easily, and switching your controller to Tactical is going to allow you to simply press in the right stick to lay down, and that's going to help you guys out tremendously. That is like the number one tip, the number one thing that you can do. And if you're not comfortable playing on Tactical, I never was either. I kind of refused to do the whole drop shotting thing until this season, until this year. Decided to switch over, and it took me like 10 games to get used to it. I mean, I just played some multiplayer and got used to it over time. It's really not that hard to get used to if you've been used to playing on the standard controls for the longest time. Now, another thing to look out for is your horizontal stick sensitivity. I recommend slowly working your way up to higher sensitivity, but if you have bad aim, don't try to jump up to high sensitivity right away. A lot of people, for whatever reason, think that they're just going to get good by turning their sensitivity up to 20 right away, or whatever the high sensitivity is in the game. I believe it's 20. You're not going to be good playing on that if you have bad aim. If you have bad aim, you need to start low and you need to work your way up from low sensitivity. I get wins all the time in this game. I'm not going to say that I'm great at the game, but I'm capable, and I put my sensitivity on 6 and I'm slowly working my way up higher, but I've never been able to play on a game with sensitivity higher than where I have it right now, because my aim really isn't that good. I can't click on like a lot of other people do. The next tip that I have to give you guys is the aim assist. So aim assist is something that I think people don't necessarily realize what it is sometimes. Aim assist in Call of Duty is not magnetism. It's not going to click you on and basically put you on your target. What it is whenever you're aiming from left to right, you guys can look up tons of videos of this on YouTube. This is how I did this research and came up with this for you. Whenever you guys are using aim assist, essentially what it's doing is whenever you aim past the target, it slows down your aim, it slows down your movement of your sights whenever you're aiming towards a target. So this one is really important for you guys. If you leave it on standard, there's a giant box around a player in which it will slow down, and this can result in you shooting before you actually get to that player and getting stuck with your aim not on the target. And this is one of the main issues that I have, and so I've switched my aim assist from standard to focusing. If you're a person that gets stuck aiming just around people and you miss a lot of shots, then I recommend that you try out precision or focusing aim assist, because what these do is precision will hold your aim on target if you're right on. You know, it slows down your aiming speed if you're aiming right at the person, but beyond that it doesn't slow you down. Focusing gives you a very small box around the person, and it's really sticky. It really sticks you onto the person when you're aiming at them. Obviously you have to have better aim to kind of hold on to the targets with these ones, because the box in which it slows down your aim is smaller. So standard is better for really new players that have trouble aiming altogether, but if you're a player like me that's decent at aiming and you get caught shooting around players a lot of the time, that's because it's slowing you down on the standard aim assist. It's slowing you down before you actually get to your target, and so you're shooting before you actually get to the target and you get stuck shooting around that player. So I've switched mine to focusing, because it gives me a smaller box in which I'm sticking onto that enemy, and a smaller box in which my aim is slowing down when I'm trying to target that enemy. So that could help you guys out tremendously if you switch to that. The other thing is your equipment behavior and these things down here. Your slide behavior, you can try and mess with these. One of the ones that is really important is it might not be here. It's the contextual tap. Yeah, right here. The use reload behavior. If you're not already playing on contextual tap, this one is really, really important. What this is essentially for Warzone, this allows you to tap the button whenever you're in front of equipment to pick up, as opposed to constantly going around and holding square to pick up an item. If you're not playing on contextual tap, you need to switch this immediately and get used to it. However, the one thing that I will warn you against is this makes it really easy to accidentally pick up an enemy weapon, and in multiplayer this makes it really easy to accidentally pick up an opposing weapon and drop your own, and that could create problems for you. So you have to get used to, whenever you're around another weapon, pressing the button correctly and not accidentally picking things up that you don't want to pick up. It also switches the reload mechanic where you have to hold square to reload, and so it takes a little bit of getting used to, but being able to drop down in and just tap to pick things up makes it a lot easier to be able to pick up your loadout, pick up equipment, pick up all these different things whenever you get into the game. So I highly recommend you guys switch to contextual tap, because that's going to help you out tremendously. Now, in terms of a couple of visual settings for you guys, the film grain starts out on 0.25, I believe it is. You want to turn this down to 0. If you want to play at all competitively and you want to get wins, you need to turn your film grain down to 0. Now, it makes it look more realistic when you have the film grain on slightly, but turning it down to 0 gives you a clearer picture, and if you have trouble distinguishing enemies between like the rocks that they're hiding behind or the objects that they're hiding behind or the shadows, this is part of the reason why you're probably having trouble seeing enemies. That is because you have the film grain up and it kind of blends them in with the background. If you turn your film grain all the way down, this can help you get a clearer picture. Another one is, where is it at here? Minimap shape. This one is really important as well for you guys. The reason that you want to move the minimap shape from round to square is because you get an additional like 25 to 33% vision of the map. I don't know what the exact percentage of it is. There is an exact percentage out there. I haven't done the specific research to tell you, but as you guys can see, with the difference between the round and the square is you get those extra corners, which gives you extra visibility around you. You need to constantly be paying attention to your minimap, especially in Warzone, to see what's going on around you, and having that extra bit of visibility is going to give you a little bit more information and a better advantage in terms of actually telling where enemies are at, who's coming for you, and who you need to be watching out for. This is like a very small tip that I think a lot of people kind of overlook, and it's really, really helpful to you. The more information that you have, the better to be able to have. And I think that might be the last one that I can really give you guys. You can turn up your brightness. This is another one. If you guys are having a issue with distinguishing enemy players, turn up your brightness, and you can also change your HDR calibration in here by simply going right and left on here so that you can see players more easily. If you go to the right, like I said, if you're having trouble seeing enemy players, you'll be more easily able to see them in the shadows and hiding behind cover and stuff like that if you turn your brightness up, and that's going to allow you to distinguish between players and enemies and all those different things a lot more quickly, a lot more easily. That will help you guys out. Actually, there is one more tip to give you guys, and the last tip to give you guys is to edit your sound settings. Not a lot of people think to do this. I'm not sure quite why, but it's really important that you turn up the important sounds and you turn down the unimportant sounds. You know, you can constantly hear your players shouting and stuff like that, your characters shouting, and that's just going to be, all that's going to do is serve to distract you from what's going on around you. It's going to distract you from the footsteps going on around you. It's going to distract you from the gunfire off in the distance. It's going to tell you which direction the enemy is coming from, and that's not going to help you. So you need to have the effects volume turned all the way up, turn the master volume all the way up, and turn your music and dialogue volume down. You can adjust it to whatever level you feel comfortable. I have it 100, 50, 50, 100, and what this does is this allows me to essentially focus on the game sound effects. It lets me focus in on gunfire sound effects, footsteps, and all these different things, reloading if somebody's planting the bomb, any of those different things. That helps me hear those items as opposed to whatever else is going on in the game, and I can focus in on the important things, getting the right information, and making the correct play play accordingly. So hopefully these tips have helped you guys out in some way. I know that they're out there, they've been out there from other people, but these are just some quick tips to post on my channel for those of you that might play Call of Duty that could help you guys out and help you improve your gameplay slightly in, you know, multiple different aspects. So hopefully it helps you guys out. If it does, leave a like on the video, comment down below with what you guys would like to see next, what could you guys use help with, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video today.